welcome back for day 2. Karen Brook here with you. I'm so happy and grateful to have you back with us today, whether you're tuning in live or on the recording. Welcome. How good was day 1? I hope you've had a chance to rewatch the recording and soak it in, really get into the spirit, enter into the spirit of this idea, this concept, and are ready to embrace day 2. Tell me in the chat, write one word to describe how you are feeling coming into day 2. Just intuitively connect with that word and share it in the chat now to kick us off for day 2. I love that. Morgan says ready. Simone says wealthy. Hopeful, optimistic. Let us know your word in the chat. If you're on the recording, let us know in the chat of the recording your word. Excited, hopeful, inquisitive. Oh, I love that. And I want that to be inquisitive on the inside. What else is your higher side revealing to yourself? What else is coming up for you as we get into this? Ready. I love that. You know, yesterday we spoke about two types of people. The first type of person will look at an idea like this and think, that's ridiculous. I don't need all of that. That just seems like a stressful idea. Who do you even think you are thinking that someone could do that? They'll judge it, you know, knock it down before they've had a chance to even consider the possibility of doing something like this. The second type of person, the sort of person I want you to be if you're not already around this idea, is thinking, wow, that's a big idea. Wow, that's a great idea. Think about all the people we could help, the services we could provide, the products, the people that would benefit from doing business with us if we were to achieve a goal like this. Think of all the things that you could now do for your staff, the sort of company that you would be at, the place that people would call home when they came to work with you. Think about the difference that you could make for your family or your community, or the philanthropic or the give backs that you could do with an idea like this. The sort of person that you will have become in achieving a goal like this, and how much more aware you would be as you co-create here with the universe. So that is the sort of person, again, that I want you to embrace today. I want you to embrace this with an open mind. Again, when I first heard this idea at the beginning of 2015, I thought I had no words. No one had really thought like this. And when we think about the mentors and coaches that we want to surround ourselves with, we want to make sure that they too are getting out of their comfort zone, that they're thinking about new ideas, that they're right on the leading edge of their own creation, that they're not projecting their own limitations of what is possible or the way to do things on you, that they're new sort of. And you think about the lineage of that. If someone's got limited thinking and then they pass it down to the next person and the next person and the next person, by the time it gets to you, you know, you're getting a tiny slice of what is actually available to you. And you know, that's what I'm here to guide you. That's one of the gifts that Bob Proctor gave me, was how to think and work with the infinite, how to work with the universe, the higher side of us that is capable of so much more. And that's what we're here to do today. So we've got some more words coming in here. Ready, up leveling. I love that. And change. Yes. Let's embrace it and let's transform. I love that. Okay, let's make our daily commitment. Turn over to the second page of your workbook, and we're going to sign our daily commitment again. If you haven't put your day 1 in the Facebook group yet, please go and do that. Make sure you're in there. That is also part of showing up. It's part of letting go of the judgments. Maybe you've never done anything like that before. Maybe a part of you thinks it's a silly idea. Do it anyway. This is about learning to do the illogical, learning to feel a little bit radical, learning with something just like this, how quick we are to judge ourselves, to question, to think an idea is silly, and we begin to pinch ourselves off from what is available to us. So everything that I get you to do, not only in this masterclass, but in my coaching, I am asking you to do it because I've done it myself. I know it works, and I know it's how to get you creating the results that you want. It's not through more hard work or effort. It's beginning to do things differently. It's beginning to think differently, And that little activity of taking a photo, taking a selfie, just one, putting it in the Facebook group, getting out of your comfort zone will begin to move mountains for you in all aspects of your life. So let's sign our day 2 commitment. Write your name, commit to completing all sessions of how to turn your annual income into your monthly income masterclass with Karen Brook, and keeping an open heart and mind. I allow myself to be coached. Say it with me. I allow myself to be guided. I allow myself the best energy and the self-confidence to act on any impulses and ideas that come my way during this time. I am eager, able, and willing. Sign it and date it. Yesterday, I had a memory pop up on Facebook of this day. Well, it was the 27th of May, 2022. And I was in Sydney. I was staying at the Four Seasons, and I was teaching this masterclass. It was day 2. And I took a photo of it and I put it in our team chat, and I was like, oh my God, look at this. The coincidence, the lining it up that on the same days 2 years ago, we were teaching this masterclass in Sydney. And my team said that was the last time we did it, 2022, Karen. We did it in May and October of 2022. And here we are, nearly lined up perfectly to that energy, to that time space. The universe has brought us back here together 2 years later to do this class again together. We have 100 people registered tuning in live or via the recording. And I'm just, wow, I just had a moment of like, if that's not the universe showing up at that moment in time, saying you're exactly where you need to be with the people that you need to be with, everything is working out, it's perfect, keep going, the timing is, I was blown away by that little moment. So lean into this. It's perfect that you are here. It is right that you are here. You were attracted here for a reason. This is no accident. Everything works by law and it is exact. Before we move on, actually, I want to say one more thing before we get into page 3 on the problem. And this is important. As business leaders, as impact leaders, as business owners, as CEOs, your own paradigms, your own judgments, your own limits are playing out within your company, are playing out within your team, are playing out within the environment with which you work. And it has to be that way because your paradigms, your belief systems, your judgment are part of your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is in every cell of your body, and it is vibrating, it is expressing an energy out into your circumstances, your conditions, and your environment, and it is having an impact. So the work that we're going to do today is really getting you to look at where your limits are, getting you to look at where your judgments are, and looking at that. It may be in your personal life, it may be at work. It doesn't really matter where they are. They're having an impact on what you create in terms of your financial success through work, through business, through multiple sources of income. So it is absolutely right that we look at some of these problems, what you've identified as some of your limits, and we have a bigger conversation with respect to money, how you feel about money, your mindset around money, because that is also going to impact your company sales, your revenue, your business growth. And if we can get the whole of you transforming, then the whole of you is going to benefit. And the whole of you is personal, is family, is business, is sales, is team, and so forth. And this is when you work with me and when you get into this and you really study this, we are never working with just one part of you. We're always working with the whole of you because the whole of you is playing out in all aspects of your life. So I want you to be mindful of this, that any limitations or judgments that you have personally or professionally are impacting your business, are impacting your company, are impacting the money in your business or the sales or how it flows to and through. So it starts with you, whether you own your own business or whether you're a CEO of a company, it still starts with you in terms of creating the change. And if you're a team, then we want to get everyone in the team looking at this and shifting it. In fact, I'm working with an insurance team at the moment to grow the sales in the insurance company. And it's a whole team corporate training program. And this is something that we're getting them to do. Look at their own limitations, look at their own paradigms, personally or professionally, because that is impacting the performance of the team. So turn over to page 3 now, and let's have a look at the problem. what you've begun to think about as the main frustration, problem, or challenge that you would like to resolve or improve upon. Which one do you want to change most? And I want you to mark down in the space provided. Number one, it might be money. Number two might be use of time. Number three might be how you attract clients or how they pay you. Could be something to do with relationships. A relationship, maybe you don't like yourself very much. A lot of people don't. Certainly don't like themselves very much, let alone love themselves, wake up and kiss themselves like, you're God's highest form of creation. Like most people don't do that. So maybe you want to improve the relationship that you have with yourself. Maybe, you walk around with a constant feeling of guilt or that you're not enough. Doesn't matter what it is, identify it and write it in the space provided. Because it's all perfect and it's all an example of either a spiritual cause, every problem, everything that we experience has a spiritual cause behind it, has a mind cause behind it. We can treat that. The blueprint program Thinking into Results is specifically designed to uncover what is really going on in the higher side of us, in the non-physical side of us, and then put a blueprint in place to change it so that we get to change and experience new results. And as you write down your 3 items, I want you to really think about why. Like, why do you want to make this shift? I remember talking to a client many years ago, and we were chatting and we were just SMSing backwards and forwards. And I said to her, like, why do you want to achieve this financial goal? Like, why is it important to you? And she said, I'd love to take my family on a trip to Ayers Rock or Uluru in the centre of Australia. And I would love to support my son's dream of playing golf. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's why you want to build this business. That's why you want more money. Most people don't want more money, turn your annual income into your monthly income to just see it in their bank account. There's something behind it. There's an experience you want to have. There's a freedom. There's a difference you want to make. When I think about our company goal, I imagine the lives that we've impacted, the people that now are walking with an awareness of who they are and how they're creating their results, and are removed of the mental toil, the mental hustle, the prison of their own making, and they're now free to begin to live the life that they've always imagined. Just like I always wondered, like, would I ever get to 1 million? Like, oh, I'm clever, I'm smart, I'm trying so hard, and it just felt so far away until I started to study what Bob Proctor was teaching. And then things shifted very, very quickly for me. And when I said to him, when he said to me, what do you really want, Karen? And I said, I want to help people all around the world change their life. I'll never forget it to this day. It was June 2015 in Toronto, Canada. He looked me dead in the eye. And then he said, well, change your own life first. And I did. Because he knew that, like, if I wanted to go out there and make a big difference in the world, then my life would have to be a showcase that I've done it for me. So, when we think about why we want to create change, try to think even beyond the surface if you can of why. And maybe you're just sick and tired of the stories, of the old narratives, of the projections, of the judgments, of the struggle, sick and tired of knowing you're capable of more. Like, hands up if you've ever felt that. Like, you are so damn good at what you do, but your results are so far less than what you know you're capable of achieving. Like, let's close the gap. Let me help you do that. Close the gap, and begin to make the bigger difference that you want. Sell more of your products and services. Let more people benefit from it. Create more value in the marketplace. Have more people, because you know what? You're incredibly good at what you do. But if you don't get out there and claim that number 1 spot, someone else will. And they're not going to be as good as you. They won't be as aware as you, but they are going to do business with somebody else because they believed. So I want to get you really seeing yourself at the top of your industry, really seeing your business as the number 1, seeing your company, seeing your team. And then let's build a blueprint. Let's build a plan to help you close the gap and really achieve that goal. All right, let's turn over to the page number 4. What's it going to take to close this gap? Well, we need to have a look at where you are now. This is going to be part of the process. Where you are now is only helpful that we can look at the current results, because the current results always tell us a true story of what is going on subconsciously. It's where you are now that holds you back most, because people are stuck in that reality. Why? Because you are a creature of habit. 96 to 98% of all of your results come from your subconscious mind, and only 2 to 4% come from the conscious mind. So when you think, oh, I'm busy, I'm thinking, I'm great. No, you're not. Mental activity does not constitute thinking. If there's no new thoughts, if there's no new C-type goal to attach that to, most of what you are doing is habit. Most of what you are doing is habit. And the habit is the control in your life. It's the control mechanism. So I want you to think about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind like the ant and the elephant. We don't have time today to go into the stick person and the whole model of the mind and the body and how we create results. We look at that in depth in lesson 4 of Thinking into Results. But to give you an example of how it works, I want you to think of the ant and the elephant, right? The ant is your conscious mind. It's not actually that powerful. We need to use it a little bit to control and direct the flow of thought energy, to think of what we want, to build an image of what we want. But the subconscious mind is like the elephant. It's going to get it done, right? It's going to move mountains for you. It is going to work 24/7, 365 days of the year, even when you don't feel like you can do it anymore. Like the ant can't lift the elephant. The elephant's going to win every day of the week. So what I'm here to do is to guide you of how to properly use your conscious mind to influence your subconscious mind. We've got to use the conscious mind in a certain way to direct the flow of thought energy, turn the ideas of the results that you want over to your subconscious mind, and there's a way to do that, so that the subconscious mind can begin to do the heavy lifting for you. How we know what is going on in the subconscious mind is we look at the results. That's it. It's a black and white deal. Your results always tell you a true story. So you can take out a sheet of paper and you can begin to make a list of what your current results are telling you, what your current results are. And that will give you on paper a visual description of exactly what is programmed in your subconscious mind. There's just no way around it. You can kick it in the dirt, you can hold it up to the light, but you can't get away from that fact. Now, you cannot outperform those results. You can't just keep trying harder, because that's going to lead to stress, burnout, overwhelm, frustration, dissatisfaction. You'll want to give up because you think nothing works. Some of you may have come to this training thinking, I've tried this in the past and it doesn't work. Well, you haven't got it right yet. You don't know enough yet, right? You haven't learned to change the paradigm. That's the problem. When we begin then to look at what that written description is, we can decide, I don't want it to be like that anymore. We build a new image. We take that new image and the new results that we want and begin to reprogram the subconscious mind. It's a little bit like I've got this old computer here. I don't use it anymore because it's old. It doesn't really charge. It doesn't work, right? And your paradigm is a little bit like an old computer, your subconscious mind. And you know, this can really only give me the performance that it's got, and it really doesn't have much anymore. So if I was to continue to try and achieve my goals on this operating system, it's going to be very difficult. But I went and bought a new computer. It's actually sitting out in the kitchen at the moment. Brand new computer, the end of last year, a laptop. So when I'm traveling, I've got this beautiful laptop. I can connect it up at a seminar and it'll beam up on the big screen. I can do everything I need to do wherever I am, and it gives me great performance capability. And it's going to be an asset to me to achieve my goal. I wouldn't be able to do it with the old computer. So your subconscious mind is like a biocomputer. Whatever is programmed on it is all you can get. When you upgrade the paradigm, when you upgrade the programming, you can get better performance, you can get better results. And that's what my coaching is all about. Whether you come in at the Wealthy You, the 28-day program, you know, it's going to get you going with that process. Whether you're in for the Thinking Results, the Blueprint program, the 6 months, which is the foundational signature process that no matter where you are, you want to be doing that. Or you're in Inner Circle, the foundation of all of it is that we are upgrading your paradigms. We are showing you exactly what to do to upgrade them, to give you the performance capability that matches the results you want to create, that you decide, which brings me to the next point, the decision. Decision is your magic mental move. We've got to decide again today that we are going to do this. you are going to make a committed decision and you're going to act on it. When you make a committed decision, you flip your mind onto a new receiving station. Decision without action won't change anything. You know, I have so many people that take a training with me like this and they leave the training and they think, oh, that was nice. Like, I feel good, and put it on the shelf. Or they try to do it themselves for a little while, but the results don't change dramatically or radically like you deserve. But then I have other people that do a training like this and they do make a decision and they get into a coaching program with me and they get the accountability and support and they saturate their conscious mind and their subconscious mind with a new way of thinking, with a new way of operating, and their lives are forever changed. You know, they never leave. They do TIR, thinking into results, for 6 months, and they do another 6 months and another 6 months, and they go into inner circle and they've been with me for years and years and years. Or they go away for a little while, but then they come back, because the truth always resonates with the perfection within you. When you hear this, you know that it's true. You can try to fight it. You can try to push it down. You can try to say, not now, not yet. It's not right. It's not the right time. I don't have the money. You can throw all of that at it, but the truth always resonates with the perfection within us, which is why you're drawn back, which is why you want to be here, which is why you want to be in this coaching with me, which is why you want the accountability and support, because the truth always resonates with the perfection within us. So we've got to keep making a decision to move in that direction. And that takes persistence to do that, because there is a lot of noise in your circumstances. The old paradigm, right? This old computer could just as well say, hey, come on, I was good to you for so long. You know, why you don't want to use me anymore? Like, I'm still good for you. You don't need all of that. You don't need the extra speed or the money or the performance or the friends or the house. Like, just settle for me. Like, I've been so good to you. How dare you dream a bigger story? Right? Like, that's what the old paradigm does in your head, in your heart, make you feel guilty for wanting to transform and grow. So it's going to take some persistence, right? We've got to build the new operating system. We've got to get used to the new computer. We've got to decide what that operating system is going to be like. I show you how to do that. There's a process we go through to do that. And then you can continue to upgrade that paradigm. And we never want to stop doing that. There's no finish line with personal development. There's no such thing as putting it all in a jar, putting a lid on it, and you're done. Like, that's why clients never leave. You know, they've been with me for years and years and years and years. And if they do, they don't leave for long, and they're back before they know it for another round with me or another program, because here we are growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that impacts the bottom line of their life, which includes money, which includes business and all of those things. It is right for you to want to grow and transform. Never let anybody try to talk you out of that. You have to be persistent in being a match for the things that you want. And rarely does that happen without this guidance of a mentor, the accountability, the support, and like-minded people who are doing it and growing in new dimensions as well. You start to surround yourself with people that are turning their annual income into their monthly income, who are making quantum leaps, who are thinking outside the box, then that is going to change you. That is going to support you, because you've got this energy that is conducive to growth and transformation. And attitude. We spoke about this yesterday. We're going to talk about it again today. You can be an outwardly positive person, but still be operating with a negative mental mindset at the same time. You can be taking positive action, but thinking this doesn't work, or that idea is too big for us, or my team's not there, or Johnny on the team is not going to pick up on this idea. Like, and it is so subtle and so automatic, often we don't even realize we're doing it. But you cannot achieve new and better results if you have a negative mental mindset. This is like driving with a handbrake on. It's just not good. So we want to change it. And there's a lesson for that and a process to do it. Let's talk about money. Let's have some fun with money now this morning. So I want you to think and answer this question. If I put $250,000 in your bank account right now today, I'm just, everyone gets $250,000, how would you feel? What would be the thoughts that would come into your head? I want you to write down those thoughts now. you've got $250,000 in your bank account right now today, dropped in. What is your first thoughts? All right. So, did anyone ask the question or have the thought of, I'm going to have to give this back? Maybe you thought, oh my God, wow, I manifested what I wanted. Did anyone feel maybe guilty? I don't deserve this. I didn't do anything for it. Why should I have this money? Did any of you feel fearful that you may lose it all really quickly? All of a sudden you've got this windfall and you may lose it all. Had anyone already spent it before it got there? So this question is a good one because it can start to show you how you really feel about having money and how it comes to you. Because we have two of our paradigms are a time and money paradigm. So we're used to earning money or receiving money in a certain way, often in exchange for some sort of time or value. And we become conditioned to receive like that. So we also have those minimums and maximums in terms of what we're earning in a day, what we're earning in a week, how we expect that comes to us. And it begins to condition us as to how well we receive money. So, I remember playing with this idea and manifest or working on getting comfortable with receiving $100,000 in a day. So I went, over the years to a 6-figure month, and then I wanted to do $100,000 in a week, and that took 6 months of working with that idea to have a 6-figure week. And then after that, I thought about a 6-figure day. So I had to become very comfortable with the idea that I could receive that amount of money in one day and feel good about it and feel worthy of it and not reject it, not feel scared of it, because you'll be surprised about the number of people that feel scared about having more money. As crazy as that sounds, in one breath, they want more money, but they also feel scared about it. Well, will I know what to do with it? What if I lose it all? How will I manage it? The tax on it, So these are things that if you want to turn your annual income into a monthly income, I've got to teach you and show you how to change this, because otherwise you'll be forever limited by that base programming. Let's have a look at the second question here. How do you feel? Let's take them one by one. How do you feel spending money on clothes to start off with? How do you feel spending your money on clothes? And maybe jot down next to it, like what's the most amount of money you've ever spent on a pair of shoes and a dress or a suit, to give you some idea about where the upper limits are with respect to spending money on clothes. All right, next question. How do you feel spending money on food? Grocery items, food, gourmet food, normal food. How do you feel spending money on food? how do you feel spending money on your children? So, children's activities, children's clothes, maybe grandchildren, buying things for your grandchildren. How do you feel about that? Now, what about holidays? How do you feel spending your money on holidays? What thoughts do you think and how do you feel spending your money on holidays? What's the most you've ever spent on a holiday? I remember a couple of years ago, we took a holiday to South Africa and I spent $38,000 on business class flights for four of us. And that was a massive, like, oh my God, like that is so much because I'd never spent that amount of money before on flights, let alone everything else to do with the holiday. But when I did that, I changed my upper limit, right? So I don't know what the whole holiday was, probably 20 or another 20 hours. Maybe I spent 50 or $60,000. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was like three times as much as I'd ever spent on a holiday before. And, it was difficult at the time, in the sense of I wanted to do it. I knew I could do it, but I also felt uncomfortable because I'd never done it before. It wasn't habit. So it was the first time we sort of changed that upper limit. It does feel scary. It does feel like a stretch. It does feel like, or the noise, the old paradigm. Should you be doing this? Can you really do it? You know, you have the holiday, you come back, it's done. You loved it. But it's a great lesson and it's a good example of how, the difference. I remember 2 years before that spending $35,000 on coaching for 8 weeks. It was an 8 week for 8 weeks, $35,000 Australian to study in another language, this work, the subconscious mind. And I did it without even blinking my eyelids. I woke up one morning and thought, I want to work with that person, transferred the money by breakfast, and I was done and I was happy to it because I was used to investing in myself. I was used to using my money and investing it in me. I knew the return on investment would be massive. But virtually the same amount of money on 4 business class flights, I felt very uncomfortable because it wasn't habit to spend that amount of money on a holiday. Do you see what I mean? Does everyone type me a yes if you understand what I'm getting at here? That when we start to look at, this idea of money and energy and where our limits are and where our judgments are and how that holds us back. All right, the next one is cars. How do you feel about spending money on a car? Now, there are some people that will only buy a secondhand car. There are some people that only buy new cars. There are some people that would never ever drive a $100,000 car, and there are people that love driving $300,000 cars, based on their paradigms, based on their experience, based on what other people in their family drive and how family members have bought and sold and driven cars over the years. There's no right or wrong with this, but we must understand where our paradigms are at and where our judgments and limits are with respect to money. If we want to turn our annual income into our monthly income, something's going to have to change. Agreed? So think about this. How do you feel spending money on cars? And why don't we throw in one more, because we've been talking about it, coaching. How do you feel spending money on coaching? What thoughts and feelings come to mind when you think about spending money on coaching? And maybe also write down the most amount of money in one transaction, right? Just the most amount of money you've ever spent in one transaction on coaching. So you have some level of awareness about where your paradigm's going to be around that. Heather says 13,000. Great. All right. Amazing. So now you've got a little bit of a picture there around your money paradigm and how you experience money in different areas of your life. But it's the same amount, right? Like I said yesterday, $35,000 on 4 business class flights and $35,000 on coaching is the same amount of money, but our perception of it, it's our self-image in relationship to it that gives it a different meaning, that gives it the judgments, that gives it the energy. But we want to understand that it is that way and see it as energy and not let it mean something that it doesn't. Don't make up stories around it. And we also know when we step out to act, we can start to look at these now and say, well, if you begin to live how you really want to live and achieve the business success and the financial goals that you may have for yourself, how would I now feel about spending money on clothes and food and children and holidays and car and coaching, and start to embrace that energy today, because that's how we begin to grow. All right, turn over the page. Question number 3. Do you believe that money is hard or easy to earn? Write down your thoughts on this. Do you believe that money is hard or easy to earn? All right. So whatever we believe is true. So if you believe that it is hard to earn, that is how you will experience it. If you believe it is easy to earn, that's how you'll experience it. If you believe that it's hard to make a sale or attract new clients or clients to pay you more for your products or services, or it's going to be difficult, then whatever you believe is true. If you believe it's easy to sell a program or a product or services or grow your business or attract, I mean, I work with leaders a lot around this also in terms of staff, because this is a big thing that my leaders tell me about attracting the right staff. And I'll say, well, do you believe it's going to be hard or easy to find that person? And we work on their whole expectation, their shift around this, of who they're attracting, of what they're attracting, of how that person is taking up their role. So whatever you believe is true, you might want to write that one down next to that question. Think about what you want to believe is now true for you. And the last question here, what is the most fun you have had with money? What is the most fun you have had with money? And so think about a situation or an event or an experience or something you've purchased, and you were able to do it because you had money and it was so much fun. I want you to answer this question now. And let us know in the chat when you're ready the answer to this question. What is the most fun you've had with money? All right, so we've got some people going on holidays here. I love it. So we've got Heather says holidays, Kelly holidays, traveled and staying at the Langham. Yes. So good. Elevate 2025. We'll be back in February, so make a decision to be there with us again. Sitting in a plane as it takes off, travel, spent the money spent on family cruise, the most enjoyable amount I have spent. Money is energy and it aligns with your energy. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Giving it away to other people. Mimi, I was actually thinking about that. You've done so many fun things with money, but I remember going to a charity night in 2018 and I donated $10,000 to a NICU unit for, I think it was the Martyr Mothers Foundation. They were raising money for the NICU. And it was such a fun night. And I donated this money and I think I've never used it as some sort of jet thing to lunch on an island, but I never did that. It was not but I think about that and I'm like, that was actually really fun. That was one of the really fun things that I've done with money or had with money. So that can be fun as well. Simone says, a helicopter flight over Cradle Mountain with my husband and son. I love that. Michelle, purchased my 5 acres of land in the Byron Bay hinterland with a cash offer. Amazing. That is fun. A family. Beautiful. So I want you to imagine more of this in your life. I want you to imagine these experiences that you have just shared with me and with each other, that you are now able to do more of this. Just sit with that thought for a moment. That you can take more holidays to more beautiful places, staying in better hotels, with people to pick you up and take you to and from the airport, and donating $100,000 to charity instead of $10,000. I want you to think about buying the farm and having more fun with money, having more fun staying in hotels and having experiences, and solo unplanned holiday to Spain. Oh, I love that. That is so good. I remember once when I went to and also an unplanned trip, I booked a ticket to the United States in 2011. Just like booked it 5 days, got my visa and hopped on and went. And that was an amazing trip. So think about that. More solo unplanned holidays. Just being able to just go. Book the holiday, take the trip, donate the money, support the people that you love, give money away, buy the clothes, take the holidays, support your children, book the coaching. I want you to just close your eyes and just imagine that free flowing river of wealth, river of prosperity, river of money. Like the ocean, it's coming in for you. Maybe it goes out a little every now and again, but more of it is always coming in. I want you to say to yourself, I live in overflow. I am a rich, wealthy woman or man. That you now live in this stream of income, this stream of abundance that you've attracted, that you feel comfortable with, that you love, that you look forward to, and that you're also allowing it to circulate for your greater good and the good of all. Because, money is only good for two things: to keep you comfortable and to extend your good far beyond your own physical presence. And how you want to keep yourself comfortable is up to you. It's for you to decide. The experiences, the places, what you want the money for, what you're going to do with it. There's no right or wrong. It's an idea. It's people that give it judgments. And really see yourself receiving this now. So let's talk a little bit about goals before we finish up on day 2. And the importance of goals. Why do we set goals? We set goals to grow. So when we think about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the conscious mind is the goal-seeking mind. It's like looking for a goal. And I saw a comment there from Ramona, can we have more than one C-type goal that we're working on? Yes and no. I go through this in detail in lesson 1 of Thinking into Results. And in there, we talk about a personal and or a professional C-type goal, but we don't have lots of little ones. it's one main C-type goal, or you may have a personal and a professional C-type goal. So the conscious mind says, I'm going to go from A to B in this time. It consciously sets the C-type goal. The goal achieving mind, though, is the subconscious mind. It gets it done. So I'm here to show you and to teach you and to guide you how to use your conscious mind to influence your subconscious mind so that you can achieve more without working harder and achieve it the effortless way. So what do you really want? Take out this sheet now, and I want you to journal for the next 3 minutes, writing out, if everything was possible, what do you really want? And we're going to write it in positive language. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am, I have, and I want you to imagine what you really want and write it in the present tense. And I want you to be specific. If it's a specific amount of money, if it's a particular business result, if it's a particular company result, be as specific as you can and write it in detail what you really want. At this stage, Michelle, just you write out in detail. If there's numerous things that you feel like you want, write it all out. If everything was possible, what do you really want? We're not at the point of needing to select the goal at this point in time. This is about really getting you to see how you want to live, what it is that you really want, getting you emotionally involved with the possibility of that becoming a reality, and then moving you into action with making a decision to turn it into reality. All right, now the only way to get what you really want is to make a paradigm shift. Wanting it is not enough. We have to learn to upgrade and change the paradigm. So turn over the page. The only way to get what you really want is to close the gap between who you are and who you want to be, where you are and where you want to be. And it's time to make a paradigm shift on this. So you have a little bit of after work. We call it after work because it's after the masterclass to do, and I'm going to explain to you what it is. I want you to read the remainder of the workbook, particularly focusing on the next 2 pages, what is a paradigm and truth talk. Now listen very carefully to your instructions. You are going to study the last 4 pages of this workbook. Not just read it over, but study it. Underline it. Read the stories. Read the Craft New Standard story. And then on page 10, what is a paradigm? You're going to look at your paradigm as a mental program that has almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. That is how you're creating your current results. Now you've just made a written description of what you would love. Now we have to change the paradigm to turn that into reality. And there are only 2 known ways to change a paradigm. 1 is an emotional impact, and 2 is the constant spaced repetition of a new idea or concept. This usually doesn't occur without the support of a coach or a mentor. We have to do it for ourselves, but we can't do it by ourselves. So you're then going to circle the shift that you want for yourself. You may want to change the paradigm and improve your ability to earn money, improve your use of time, improve your willingness to do the illogical, improve attracting clients or new business, improve productivity or effectiveness, relationships or health. You're going to circle the shift for you. Then on the next page, you're going to answer the questions about truth talk. What is holding you back? What challenges or obstacles do you appear to be facing? Are you willing to shift? Are you willing to press forward in spite of those challenges or obstacles and overcome them? And have you had enough? If we were to continue to work together, what changes or improvements do you want to make? What changes or improvements do you want me to help you make? Now you're going to answer these 2 pages. You're going to take a picture of it and you're going to SMS the answers to me today before day 3. Now I'm going to put my phone number, for those of you tuned in live, I'm going to put my personal mobile number. This is not to go on the internet. This is not to pass around to anybody else. It's my personal mobile number, but I'm giving it to you because I want to help you. You are going to take a picture of those 2 pages. What is a paradigm? Circle the shift for you, and you're going to write your answers on Truth Talk and you are going to send it to me. I'm putting my phone number in the chat now. If you are watching this on the recording, listen in. This is what you are going to do. If you are listening to this on the recording, you are going to take a picture of the what is a paradigm and circle the paradigm shift for you, and you're going to answer the questions to Truth Talk. You're going to attach them and you're going to send it into concierge@karenbrook.com.au. You've probably already heard from Elizabeth or Simone on this email address. You are going to email it to them and they're going to forward it to me straight away. Does everyone understand the after work instructions? So you are to read and study the last 4 pages of the workbook. Study it like a scientist. Study it like this. If I follow this and if I do this and if I do as Karen is suggesting, I'm going to get the results that I really want. That's the attitude. You're going to answer the questions on page 10. What is a paradigm? Circle the paradigm shift for you. And you're going to answer the questions on Truth Talk. You're going to take a picture of it and you are going to SMS it to me. If you are live, you're going to take my phone number and you're going to SMS it to me. If you're getting this on the recording, you are going to take those 2 pictures, attach them to an email, and you're going to email them to concierge@karenbrook.com.au. Elizabeth will acknowledge the receipt of that and forward it to me. So you'll know that they've got it. If you don't get a response from Elizabeth, then we may not have it yet. You might have used the wrong email address. She'll reply and say, yep, I've got it. I've sent it to Karen. And then I will get that and I will see it for you. Okay. So that is your after work for today. We are at the time boundary. So we're going to finish up today now. All set for day 3. I can't wait to read it from you this afternoon, to get it from you. So take some time now. Excuse me. Complete the worksheets and we will see you back here ready for day 3. I'm going to put some music on to see us out of the masterclass. So Stay in the energy for another few minutes if you like. We're going to listen to this song together, and then we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.